Power bills have become central to U.S. politics in a way that experts say is completely unprecedented in modern history.
In this chart, we can see the average electricity demand across U.S. cities from 2010 to this year. From 2020 onward, demand increases sharply. Last year alone, we saw electricity prices rise by more than double the rate of inflation. The cost of electricity is to the 2026 election what the price of eggs was to the 2024 races. The war in Iran also is upending global energy markets, making not just power, but fuel costs a political issue.
We're here in Pennsylvania's 7th District to talk to voters. This is a swing district. How this race goes is going to say a lot about the U.S. midterms.
Republicans are fighting to hold on to a razor-thin margin in Congress, and Pennsylvania's 7th is a crucial bellwether for how this issue of power bills is going to play out in the midterms. Last year, Democrats cleaned up. They swept to victory in Georgia, New Jersey, and Virginia, and the issue all came down to one really important thing: power bills.
Pennsylvania has seen a 40% increase in its electricity costs since 2020, and voters here are really mad about that.
I've been a resident of Slatington, Pennsylvania for 31 years. I retired in 2018. Since then, I have been keeping track of my daily usage as well as what my monthly bills are.
What are you seeing here in terms of what you used?
So the usage is similar with air conditioners, but the daily cost has gone up. The total cost has gone up to now $97.64 versus the $58.08.
Wow, that's almost a 70% increase.
Exactly.
We're going to talk with Carol Obando-Derstein. She's one of the Democrats running here in the 7th District. She worked for a decade for the local utility here, PPL, and she says she's the kind of energy expert that Congress needs for these high energy bills that have made so many voters really angry.
That's my personal self.
What are you hearing from voters about what are their biggest concerns?
Affordability is the single biggest issue that I hear about on the campaign trail. The rising cost of utility bills are very important in this race. I hear about it from working moms, from seniors, and even my pastor was talking about the double-digit increases that he's seen.
Who do you think is to blame for power bills going up?
It's not so much blame, it's just the demand on the grid. Power bills are going up because of the data centers. They're energy hogs.
And what does that do to cost?
If it's not done correctly, it can drive up costs. It's important to have a watchdog in Congress who understands this.
In areas with a lot of data centers, the wholesale price of electricity is 267% more than it was about 5 years ago. U.S. power demand is set to go up 20% by the end of the decade. That's a lot of economic opportunity. We're talking data centers, factories, but it's also a big political liability. High power bills are hard for politicians to manage, both on the supply side and on the demand side. If those costs land on voters, they're going to be really mad.
So we're in the northern side of the 7th District now to meet with U.S. Congressman Ryan McKenzie.
Dear Congressman Ryan McKenzie.
Like a lot of politicians, he's focused on affordability.
What are people worried about in terms of prices increasing and them worrying about making ends meet?
I always say it's in two categories. It's the two F's and two H's: food and fuel, housing and healthcare. In our local community, what we hear is that they are seeing increase is their cost of electricity. I think it's traditional supply and demand. On the supply side, I don't think we've been adding enough supply and energy to our electrical grid, not just in Pennsylvania, but across the country. And then on the demand side, obviously there are new technologies that everybody's talking about that are taking up more and more power. If you can get all the different tech companies and data centers to sign on to some kind of framework or understanding of this is what we want to do, come November, hopefully we're going to be able to show real progress on a lot of these fronts.
We're here this afternoon for a historic signing that will help keep down utility bills very, very substantially and electricity prices for millions of Americans.
In early March, President Trump gathered together executives from the biggest tech and AI companies and signed a non-binding 5-point pledge promising to take care of their own power generation and not drive up everyone else's power bills. Whether those big companies follow through on this and whether voters notice and it gets political traction is a big question in these November midterms. So are power bills something that your friends and your neighbors talk about?
Regularly on Facebook, in person. I run social events for a ladies group affiliated with AARP, and once a month we get together for lunch. And the number one topic was, how much was your electric bill? Oh my God, wait till I tell you how much mine was. It was the number one topic of discussion. Well, what about the little guy? What are you doing for them? I will support anyone who, regardless of party, can make affordability not only words or a promise, but a fact. Show me your path, what you're going to do to make things affordable. People are suffocating, people are hurting, and we need help.